Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the pre-patch update and also relics of the past. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be going over a few different types of things. One thing that we need to clear up right now is if you are on the beta, which I am not, but if you are and you go over to this area and you go to number 15 for December 15, 2020, it will say the release date for Shadowlands. This, however, has been cleared up by Ian Hazakostas on Twitter by actually stating that this will be actually removed, and this is not the actual release date of Shadowlands. It was just a placeholder from ages ago, so it will be cleared as of then. So you guys on the beta, don't get yourself all confused or anything along those lines. It's literally just been there ever since the actual beta was released. So just don't get too concerned about that. That is not the official date of the release date for Shadowlands. Moving on to another thing when it comes towards farming, the Lootarang. Now, okay, the Lootarang is a very useful utility tool if you have engineering. Now this item actually gives you the ability to pick up loot from mobs by not even having to go next to the mob. You literally fling your Lootarang and you collect all your loot. Now, obviously there are ways around this, like the WoD one where it only works in Warlords of Draenor, but that's just an example, so to speak. The Lootarang, however, can be used by any of the engineers, and now it actually requires Cataclysm level 70 engineering. Just so you know, this has happened as soon as pre-patch actually hit, so if you are an engineer and you use the Lootarang, then you probably already have come across this, but I thought this would be a nice little idea in order for you guys to actually go about, because some people actually do farm while they're an engineer, so get yourself a Lootarang. But remember that the engineering cap, skill cap for it is now 70 instead of 1. Now, aside from all of that, let's actually get into the main thing that I wanted to talk about today, and that is relics of the past. Now, I know about the nerf. I'm very much well aware of this, and I have been watching extensively, looking at the majority of the sites that actually have been covering it, and also on YouTube with other people doing it. The reason I didn't talk about it is because so many people were talking about it that you guys were all probably going to find out about it. So just so you know, I am aware of this, and the entire intent for me was to actually craft the relics. Okay, so let's get on to what has actually gone about when it comes towards relics of the past. Overall, there has been a nerf come pre-patch, and to be honest, I'm severely disappointed. To be honest, I think a lot of people are, because a lot of people were actually looking forward to actually scaling their gear to level 50 and being able to like run around and just have old school gear on and all of that jazz. Well, as of now, if I pull up my profession and just go relic of the past, we can see relics of the past are available, and it only scales it to level 47. Yeah, I am I'm disappointed, in all honesty. Frankly, the gold aspect was cool of making some gold, but being able to wear old school gear was something I was really looking forward to. Like, come Shadowlands release, I could actually wear all of this gear and then go into that. You've just made something that's nonsensical and actually pretty irrelevant to actually use now. Relics of the past don't actually work anymore. You've just killed it, essentially. Because the whole point of it was to have scaled gear to your level, and then you could jump into pre-patch, or you could jump into the release date of Shadowlands, and overall you could like actually do it with old school gear that you once had and all that stuff. So that is very disappointing to say the least, because now this has no purpose really, unless you wanted to like level with that gear. But there's no point now, because you could just get better gear while you're leveling and getting like better items. So basically you've just made something that's completely irrelevant and useless. I'm actually pretty angry about this, because not only was the gold making aspect cool, I didn't care for the shuffle, but I really was looking forward to genuinely making armor for my character and having like a whole load of spell weave stuff, and then just having that on my mage. That was my entire plan. Overall, you might as well just get rid of them. They don't serve an actual purpose no more. It's kind of irrelevant to actually make them anymore. But aside from that, on the positive note, I do have a lot of mats. And when I say I've got a lot of mats, yeah, I've still got quite a heavy amount of mats. And judging by what's actually gone about when it comes towards all these mats, they've actually gone back up in price. Like, they've shot back up in price. They've gone higher than usual. Like, at the moment, this is still 3 times as much as I would have like actually got loads of it for. Like, I originally bought all this Netherweave for like 14 silver. 14 silver, it now goes for 65. So the markets have been massively reset because of everyone stockpiling. So that's always a good thing. That means cloth farms are now kind of doing well at the moment. And the same with all of that stuff. So I will be selling through all of this stuff and trying to get rid of loads of different things and all that stuff. Yeah, stockpiling on relics is kind of like null now, and it's not ideal, so to speak. But aside from that, we still have our stockpile on mounts, so let's just hope Blizz or Activision don't actually say, oh, let's just change a load of stuff and ruin it for that. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, if you can tell, I'm not overly too chuffed with Relics of the Past nerf. A little bit of a rant, so to speak. I like to try and stay positive on everything, but you can't really do much with all of that jazz when it goes forward in all of that stuff, because it's a little bit of a bummer, so to speak, when it comes to all of that, because I was genuinely looking forward to all of it, and it kind of like died. So that is it died before it even made the pre-patch. That's probably the best way to put it. But aside from all of that, what do you guys think? Do you reckon there's still? Do you still think Relics of the Past will actually still be good? I have noticed on the actual auction house that people are selling Relics of the Past, but I don't think it's worth it to actually sell them as the scaled gearing, all that stuff. It's not ideal for me for actually selling. It's not actually worth my time to actually go ahead and do, as now that relics are basically just a mix between this. So like relics of the past, we can look at all this. We have the optional ones for all this one and all that jazz, but it only goes up to level 47, and that is where they've actually kind of like ruined it, because overall level 50 would have been cool, because everyone would have run around with scaled gear that's actually meets their level requirements. Now I can just go do Mechagon and get better gear. So unless you're leveling, it's kind of worth it for you, but if not, then don't worry about it, because they're not really worth all that much. Unless they bring out like a Relic 6, which actually makes it like standard stuff for that. So it could be worth keeping a hold of a load of materials until then, depending on if they do bring out like a Relic 6. But I don't know at this point if they'll actually will bring out a Relic 6. But you know, it's something to look forward to in the future, and when it comes to all of those different types of materials. So if they did, however, actually do bring out like relics for 6, that would be cool overall. But at this moment in time, they could just go back on that and then just not bother with all that stuff. So rant aside, with Relics of the Past, I am aware of the Relics of the Past nerf, and I am not impressed, as a nice summary. The other things of note that actually occurred yesterday was everyone having connection issues once again. Overall, understandable. It's the second day of pre-patch, so give them a chance to actually sort all that stuff out. But aside from all of that, I am looking into more gold making stuff as of now. There has been a couple of questions when I asked about WorthIt, in regards to bugs and all that stuff. And that is, WorthIt doesn't come up on your minimap at the moment. Well, that is because ACE3 is what the libraries that we use in order to create WorthIt, or HGUI, and we use that in conjunction with our own code to actually make WorthIt. So what actually comes about all of that is the minimap button doesn't show, or you have some layering issues, and the majority of the time they happen when you're using ElvUI. All you have to really do is go into the ElvUI settings and disable ACE3. Once you've done that, you should see the mini-map once you've reloaded your UI after you've checked that off. So that is something you may want to consider going forward. Aside from all of this, this will be a nice little update type video, kind of. Just wanted to get a little bit of a rant off my chest, to be honest, in all fairness. But aside from all of that, I am intending on going back to some other gold making stuff for tomorrow's video, and also some random tips and tricks and all that jazz. I actually have a pretty extensive notepad, I've just flipped through it. So coming forward in the next upcoming weeks, I have literally been preparing for Shadowlands, so I've got so much stuff I want to cover right now. So aside from that, let's get back to optimism and let's take on the world, so to speak, when it comes towards gold making. Aside from that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.